Mike. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Currently sitting at a blood sugar of 7.2, so that's a good day. Yesterday when I did the video, I had dropped. So we're doing well now. Today, I want to discuss what why are some people getting type 1 diabetes and why other people aren't. It's a big question. So sit back, relax, and we're gonna just have a discussion today. I'll be right back. Okay. Causes. Why did we get this diabetes? First of all, there's a line on a website. I checked out the website before doing this video, and it said that type 1 diabetes is basically coming from genetics and environmental. Now, everyone's thinking right away, oh, environmental. It's the food. They have so much added to the food. And you know what? Okay, there might be something there. But environmental can also mean the world around us. Doesn't necessarily mean chemicals. Type 2 diabetes is on the rise, but also type 1 is on the rise. They believe I got type 1 diabetes because of a little spot I developed here that kept turning into a really ugly, kind of a cold sorish type thing. But it ended up being impetigo. So viruses, people get diabetes after being sick, where they just don't recover, and then the next thing, they go in to see the doctor. Doctors run the test because they're peeing a lot, they've lost weight, and boom, they find type 1 diabetes. Beginning of my high school year, and in Vancouver, you started high school at grade 8. There was no middle school. I got into that school, I started going, and this thing, well, it had broken out in the summer, but I walked into an English class, and my teacher, if I remember correctly, her name was Mrs. White, and I had her for English, and she said, you have to go see the nurse. I'm not having you in my class. I thought, what did I do? She explained, because of the sore in your lip, if it's what I think it is, I am not a medical professional. Go see the nurse. So I went down to the nurse. Hale, it was better than being in class, so I went to the nurse. The nurse looked at it and she immediately went and washed her hands. This was before gloves were a big thing. She brought out gloves, she put them on, and she did some swabs, and she said, "To me, it looks like impetigo. You should be at home." So I went home. The big thing was that this impetigo was the precursor to me getting diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This is what they thought, and I keep showing this area because that's where the sore was, that gave me type 1 diabetes. The positive side, I lost weight. But there are people having flu for a while, and it affects. They got sick with pneumonia. That caused it. So, in my case, they ruled out genetics. My parents did have type 1 diabetes. They didn't show diabetes until well into their adult years. They were almost seniors. My aunt had it. My mom, they couldn't decide whether she had it or she didn't have it. She was just sort of, let's call it a cusp of one day she had it, one day she didn't. But I think she was treated at the end for diabetes. We didn't have to really monitor because she had dementia too, so much of that food, it was just, as long as she's eating, we're fine. So I just kept feeding her, and what she ate was awesome. I really miss that special time. I hated it at the time where I had to cook every night, but I kind of miss that time with my mom. But my dad, as far as he knew, there wasn't anyone. And if you spoke to my grandmother, no one in our side of the old, he did get it from our side of the family. No, I somehow got exposed to impetigo. I don't know how long the past I could touch something, touched my lip, and it just festered and it broke out. There's a picture of me that I have in my photo album of me doing this or this way or whatever. I was pointing in the photo. I don't know why. If I can find that, I'll insert it. Chances are I'm not going to find it. But, yeah. So I think for me it was environmental. That the illness affected my pancreas and the Isles of Langerhans, and it made my white blood cells attack the Isles of Langerhans and my beta cells, and that's why I became diabetic. The good news is there are drugs now that can slow that down if you catch it soon enough. It was my mom who found that I had it and sent me to the doctor, came out positive, and for me, diabetes was a great thing. I started to grow taller. When I left school for just over a month, when I returned to school, people thought I was a new person. It was like, hey, that's Mike's locker. Yes, hello, I'm Mike. I went from a fat, round kid and I shot up, and I think to this day, and I could be very wrong here, but in my mind, I think diabetes was holding back my growth spurt because it just came and all of a sudden I grew. I was 6 feet tall, and my hair, I had I know now, but I had the 70s crew cut. Type thing. So, it's environmental is out there. Genetics, they found if chances of you developing diabetes is if it comes from your father. For some reason, they have shown a link tied to your father. This could be outdated, but the last I read was that there is a genetic link more strongly towards developing. And now there's going to be people out there who are saying, no, I got it from my mom. My mom's had it and now I have it. I'm just saying there's a high correlation between fathers and people getting type 1 diabetes. So, who knows? But those are the two big reasons. Genetics, is it in your family? There are families out there where type 1 diabetes is quite prevalent. Then there's like mine, where type 1 diabetes didn't happen. I've never had children, and it makes me think if I did have a child, would that child develop type 1 diabetes? A lot of times it makes interesting discussions to a family that's deciding whether they want to have children or not. For me, I decided it wasn't worth it. So now there's type 1 diabetes in my family. I'm living proof. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email address is Mike's Diabetes World at gmail.com. All one line. Drop me